that tool which you can use it to debug your API. Okay, so let's open up your terminal and we have to simply install the tool. So we'll say npm run dev. Okay, so first we have to check everything's working fine. Npm start, sorry, and here we are in the development mode, and now we can come back to the postman and we can have a look, make all the requests. Things are looking pretty good, no problem we have. Okay, no problem we have. Simply close all this open file, because right now we start working on the error. Okay, so here we have the fresh environment, nothing goes wrong. Let's come here and let's come and split the terminal, and now we have to install the package. Okay, so we'll say clear npm indb. Okay, so this is the package we want to install. Okay, so just hit enter. This will take a little bit time because it's a huge package, it will take time, but again I'm using editing power, so it will become very fast. So here you can see it's happening in the background. But before we do anything, let's come here in the start script and we have to build a script for debug. Okay, so we'll call it, let's say, debug, and we want to simply do this. Okay, we'll say ndb server.js. okay, so this is going to be our debug script. So that's what it is, and here we have finally installed the package, looking fine, no more error we have. Now we have to run this debug command. Okay, so to utilize the tool, so let's come here. We have to stop the application from running because we have to switch the development mode. Okay, so right now we'll go for this npm run debug. Okay, hit enter, and again this will take a little bit time. Okay, in my case it took around 5 to 6 minutes, but again I'm doing copy paste, so it will take time. Okay, just wait, let's wait. And here finally, once it get open, this is how you will find. You can see it's like a Chrome browser. This is like a Chrome browser. You can see here you will find all the information about the project here in this as well. Okay, and both the project and this package is connected with each other, so whatever changes you will make here, that will automatically reflect in the project as well. So that's what we have here. You will find all the files and folder, and here you will find all the scripts. So we'll have the server, start, production, debug. So we have all these scripts working fine. Okay, and here you can see in the console you will have all this information we have running on this, and debug successfully, reference and memory, which is not that important, but here we're going to do a couple of testing. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's bring this here, and here you will find all the call stack. This is all the data we have. So here we are in this server.js. So let me show you that how they are connected with each other. So here we're going to write something. So I'll take this comment and I'll say that, let's say, change. Okay, so that's the message I have time. And here if I come to the server.js, you can see here I will find the same message which I have provided. This is a change. Okay, so both are connected, and now we can test this all. Okay, so let's bring this one, and now let's make this zoom, and now let's add a breakpoint. So when you click here, so this is what will happen when the code will run. When any request will come, the code will follow everything, but at the time in the line number 58, the code will stop. Okay, the code will stop. Here you can see this is the breakpoint we have added. It will run all this code, but at the time of here it will get stop. Okay, so to see this in action, we can simply run the script. Okay, simply click right and run the script, and here we have run. You can see here we got the entire call stack, all the information. So here you can see we have all this thing which is not that important. Simply close this one, watch, no. We have this call stack, no. And here we have this local DB, our database string. You can see we have all this one. If you, this is the database. If in this app you can see all the function we have, all this is we have here, all this data we are available. We can able to check. This is the route we have in the stack. This is the param. In the stack you can see all the query middleware we included in the app.js. That's all we have here. So here we have this parse. Okay, that's what we have here, and that's what we have included. Let's come up here. Let's come up here, and this is where we have included this. You can see express.json, and that's what we have here. All the routes, all the middleware we have here. So it's looking perfect. Hope things are making sense. You guys can easily able to understand that how it's work. So we can easily able to debug that what information we got when the code got stuck. Stop there. Okay, and stop there. Okay, so let's come here and close this one, and let's make this side, and let me show you one cool thing as well. So the moment you over in all these variables. So let's come here, let's bring this down, and you can see one thing. The moment you over on this process port, you can see this is the data we have, 3000. Okay, you can easily able to, literally you can easily able to find that which data contain what information. So this port is 3000, you can see we have the information on this. If we come on this mongoose, here we have this information. You can over on them and you can find that what information they have. You can see this is the password we have assigned, so we have the password. So you can literally find all the variables, all the data on those particular keywords. You can see all the data we have here, all this data. Isn't cool? If you guys really like it, do like and subscribe and write down your query in the comment section. Okay, say I like it, and you can see it's look pretty good. We have all the data and we can see that. Okay, if you come back to the global, and here you will find all the global variable which we have defined in the .env file. So you can simply scroll and you can able to check all this data. Tons of data we have in this. So whatever data you need to check, you can simply check here. Okay, so let's come here, and now what I want to do is, this is what we have here. So if I execute this code, so execute, you can simply click here and you can see the code is executed successfully. If you come here, and here we get this, all this data. Okay, it's an error, but the code is executed. So let's come back in the source and simply come back to this postman. Let's make a request, and here we got all the data. Okay, here we got all the data, and you can see here I am running from here I am from middleware function and the time it took. So this is also working fine. Okay, that looks perfect. So this is the one example that how you can stop the code and check the entire variables which you have defined and the data in every single port, that how the data is flowing. Okay, so now to see you the working example, let's close this one and come back to this controller, and let's come back to this NFT controller. Simply scroll all the way down here, and here you can see in the get all NFT we have all these filters. Okay, this is the response we are sending, and I want to add the breakpoint there. Okay, so I don't want to send the response, and I want to check that what data we have in the filter, in the sort, in the limitation, in the patch. Okay, so I want to send those data. Okay, so that's what I have here. Now let's come here and make a request. It's stuck. Okay, because we have added that breakpoint, it's stuck. But the one we are interested in this call stack, you can see we have this features, we have NFTs. So if you come here, and this is the filter we have. If you simply come to bring this one, if you come to this feature, you can see here we have the query, we have the query string, and that's what we have defined in the API feature model. Okay, so you can able to find that what data we have passed in this. So you can see we have the dog field, skip ID in the models, we have the find method, we have the skip model, we have the skip because we are on the page number 1. Okay, so that's why skip value is 0, limit is 10. You can see all the data you can able to find which we have in the filter one. Okay, so this is the skip model, we have schema, all the data we have here. Okay, believe things are making sense to you guys, all of you. Okay, and that's the query model, and here you can see we have this variable called NFTs, and there we have all the data. If you open that, you can able to find all the data out of the NFT. Okay, so right now we have the int, local, description, difficulty, duration vague. Okay, so if you click on this 3 dot, you can able to expand this and you can able to see the data in that. Okay, you can see all the data you can able to see. If anything goes wrong, you can easily able to find and check, okay, this data is undefined, this data is not there, that means an error is occur. Okay, but whatever data we are passing in the model, that's all is there, so we don't have any error there. And here we have the request, all the requests we have got when the user make a request on that. So this IP address, the query, all the data we have here. This is the closer, so the function we are utilizing it. Okay, and this is the global in which we have all the variable. Okay, so things are making sense. Hope you guys are understanding how we can easily able to check. And this is the endpoint, you can see our URL endpoint we have. This is the request time, this is the route, tons of information you have, tons of information. Okay, so let's close this one and let's execute this. Again it's stuck. Let's cancel this one and come back here. Let's execute the code. Okay, so now if you make the request, here we got the data. Okay, so make sure you should execute the code by clicking on the play button. Okay, so that's what we have. And now what I want to do, I would just want to create a bug, and let me show you that how you can identify a bug. So what I want, so here we have the filter method. Okay, so let's come back here and let's go to this utils, and here we have the API feature, and here we have all the method like short, filter, pagination. So I want to create a bug in this field limit. Okay, so here you can see, here we are spacing the join with a space. Okay, but I don't want to space it out, I just bring it close. So this is the bug. Okay, so when we make a request, we will not get a data. Okay, because we have to provide the space. So this is the bug we have here. Okay, now what I can do, here we have a field. If I make a request, you can see I'm getting all the data, but if I'm including the fields, I'll say name and duration. If I hit a request, and here we got an error. Okay, so this is the error actually. Okay, we are not getting the data we want. We want the name and duration, but it's not coming. Okay, we are getting this null. So because we have problem in the limit field. And how, now the question is how we can find this bug. That's pretty easy. All we have to do is to add a breakpoint here. Okay, so this is the breakpoint we have added. So when this code will run, it will have all the value in the previous code, so we can check that what value is coming and passing further. Okay, so this is the breakpoint we have included, and now we can make a call. Okay, so this is the breakpoint. Now make a hit a call, and it's stuck obviously. Now here you can see we have all the data. Okay, we have all the data, we have the locals. If you open that, you can see the feature is undefined, NFT is undefined because it's not run, because we have to filter all the data, then we have to call this. Okay, that's why they are undefined. And here you can see we have the original URI, you can see the field name and the duration we have there. We have the method is also there, get, and we have this all thing we have in there. And if to check this, you have to click here. Okay, to get into the function. Okay, so if you click on this, you will come back to the API feature page automatically, and here you can easily able to check the variable step by step. So okay, so you can see this is the function we have, and if you over on it, you can get that data. Okay, so what data we have here, so mint field is not defined. Okay, it's not defined here. And if you click on this, it will go to the next line, and here you can see what data we have. So we have currently undefined in the field, and this is the query we have, name and duration. Okay, so that's what we have here. Okay, but right now field is undefined. So now let's click on this, and you can see right now we have this field, and this is not what we wanted to pass in this field. Okay, we should separate them in a space. It's look like that they both are a single name. Okay, this is not what we want. We want to provide a space between them, and this is the bug, and this is how you can identify. So you can see here you will find the field that name and duration is together with close to each other. So that's not what we want, and that's how you can identify a bug in your code. Okay, so this is the valid bug we have introduced in your code, and you can able to see that what query it's go, and if you click on this, it go to the next function. Okay, but if you want to come out of this function, all you can do is click on this, and it will go to the next function. Okay, so this is what we are returning here. Okay, so if you over it, you can see this is what we are exactly returning. We have the name, field, and duration, but this is not what we want. We want to space them out. Okay, hope this makes sense to all of you guys. Now let's come here, hit enter, and this is, you will go to the pagination, and here you can come, and here you can able to see the data. So this is the query we have. They both need to be space, but there's no space, and that's why we have an error. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. That's a valid error. And let's come here again, we are into this prototype. Now click on this to come out of that function. Let's close all this one because we don't need to one. I just wanted to show you that how you can figure out the bug, how you can stop the code and check all the values. Hope these things make sense to all of you. Now let's bring back to the normal one. So it's provide the space, and now if you click on this, hit a request, and here you can see again it's stuck. Why? So let's come here, and okay, we have to execute the code. Okay, so make sure you click on the play button, so execute the code further, and you can see if you hit the request, and here we have that. Click on this and you can get it. Okay, so right now you can see, click on this, you get this undefined, but if you click on this, here we have the data. You can see we have this name and duration space, look pretty fine. Okay, You can see this is how the argument would look like. You can come out of the functions and things looking good. Okay, now click on this play button to execute the code, remove this breakpoint, and now let's make a request. And this is what we get. We got the name, duration, and all the data, ID. If you hit the request, and this is what we get. Okay, so I believe this makes sense, that how you can do the testing, how you can use this powerful tool to test your code if you have any kind of bug in your code. Okay, you can change all the values the data has passed, and you can add the breakpoints wherever you want. Okay, so things pretty good. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. I don't want to extend this video, but I hope believe that you guys have got the idea that how you can do the testing, the API in this advanced tool. Okay, add the breakpoint and follow the tabs to check the values, pause, play, and jump from function to functions. That's all I have explained in this video. So this is not the part of the API because we're going to use it for the testing at the end. Okay, so that's why I thought that there are tools in the industry which you can use, because when you're going to build an API and work in a company, there you have to work with these tools to test the APIs and different data. Okay, so hope this makes sense to all of you. If you still have any confusion and doubt, do leave in the comment section. I'll try to help you in that. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. Hope you guys have found something interesting, learned something new. So in the next video we can start working on the API and we're going to build that global error handling model.